why you're addicted to processed food, and how to break the cycle. Did you know that most of the food we eat every single day isn't actually real food, but industrial products designed to make us eat more without realizing it? Ultra-processed foods are everywhere. Snacks, sauces, drinks, and even things we think are healthy. And these foods might be quietly draining your energy, messing with your hunger, and affecting your long-term health. But the good news: you don't need a strict diet, expensive ingredients, or hours of cooking to reduce them. In the next few minutes, I'll show you simple, practical, realistic tips anyone can use to finally cut down ultra-processed food starting from today. Let's begin. Every day, we make hundreds of tiny choices about what we eat without even thinking about it. Cereal for breakfast, instant noodles for lunch, packaged snacks during a busy workday, or maybe a ready-to-eat dinner because we're too tired to cook. They're convenient, affordable, fast, and everywhere. But what if these everyday foods are quietly reshaping our health in ways we never expected? What if the biggest threat to our diet isn't sugar, fat, or salt alone, but the level of processing behind them? Today, we're diving deep into something that has become unavoidable in the modern world: ultra-processed foods. Not just what they are, but why they're so addictive, how they infiltrated almost every aisle of the supermarket, and most importantly, simple, realistic, practical tips to cut them down, based on real habits that actually work. This isn't about dieting, restriction, or guilt. This is about awareness, small decisions, and strategies you can start using today even if you don't cook much, even if you're always busy, and even if you feel like avoiding junk food feels impossible. By the end of this video, you're going to understand how to look differently at what's on your plate, how to identify hidden processed foods that seem healthy, and how to slowly transition into a pattern of eating that supports your energy, clarity, digestion, sleep, and long-term health. So stay with me because this might be the most impactful food conversation you hear this month. What ultra-processed really means. Before we start learning how to reduce ultra-processed foods, we need to understand what they are and what they are not. A common misconception is that anything processed is bad. That's not true. Processing itself is not the enemy. There are three broad categories of processed food. 1. Minimally processed foods. These are foods that are altered very lightly so they can last longer or be easier to use. Examples include washed vegetables, frozen fruits, roasted nuts, pasteurized milk, or dried herbs. These foods are still close to their natural form and contain the nutrients your body expects. 2. Processed foods. These foods have some added ingredient, salt, sugar, or oil, but still resemble real food. Bread, cheese, canned fish, jarred sauces, or flavored yogurt fall into this category. Many cultures rely on processed foods traditionally, and they can absolutely be part of a healthy diet. 3. Ultra-processed foods UPFs. This is where things become concerning. Ultra-processed foods are industrial formulations built not from real ingredients, but from fractions of foods and chemical additives. Think emulsifiers, stabilizers, colorings, artificial flavors, protein isolate, hydrogenated oils, modified starches, or flavor enhancers created in a lab. If the ingredient list sounds like it belongs in a chemistry exam instead of a kitchen, that is a red flag. Ultra-processed foods are often engineered to be hyper-palatable, extremely convenient, very cheap, long-lasting, difficult to stop eating. And that's why they dominate modern diets, especially for young adults, busy workers, and families with limited time. Why we eat so many ultra-processed foods? There are 4 main reasons UPFs are everywhere. 1. Convenience. You don't need cooking skills. You don't need equipment. It's ready in minutes. In a fast-paced world, convenience almost always wins. 2. Marketing and packaging. Bright colors, buzzwords like natural, protein, vitamin-enriched, or 0% trans fat. Companies spend billions making sure these foods look healthier than they are. 3. Formulation. Ultra-processed foods are designed by food scientists to hit the exact bliss point, just the right amount of sugar, salt, and fat to activate reward centers in the brain. For price, fresh foods spoil quickly, but UPFs last for months or years. That makes them cheaper to produce, ship, and store, which keeps supermarket prices low. All these factors make ultra-processed foods feel like the default option. But with awareness, you can break the pattern. What overconsumption does to your body. This script is not meant to scare you, but to show you why reducing UPFs can drastically improve your health. Research links high UPF consumption to increased hunger and overeating, higher risk of obesity, inflammation, digestive issues, blood sugar spikes, hormonal imbalance, poor sleep, anxiety, and energy crashes. The biggest issue isn't one single ingredient. It's the combination of low fiber, low nutrients, high additives, and hyperpalatability, which encourages your body to eat more than it needs while getting less nourishment. That's why cutting these foods doesn't just reduce calories, it improves your metabolism and energy naturally. Simple, realistic tips to cut down ultra-processed foods. Now we get to the heart of this video. These strategies are simple, they work in real life, and you don't need to cook like a chef or spend extra money. Tip 1. Look at the ingredient list, not the calories. A food with fewer calories doesn't mean it's healthier. The ingredient list reveals everything. If you see GUMS, emulsifiers, isolates, artificial sweeteners, stabilizers, flavor enhancers, colorings, it's ultra-processed. A simple rule. If you wouldn't cook with the ingredient at home, it's likely UPF. Tip 2. Swap one UPF at a time. Don't overhaul your entire diet at once. Replace one thing. Swap packaged breakfast cereals with oats or yogurt with fruit. Swap instant noodles with rice plus eggs. Swap flavored chips with nuts or air-popped popcorn. Swap processed bread with a bakery loaf with fewer ingredients. Small changes compound over time. Tip 3. Make the half-plate fresh rule. Whatever you eat, snack, lunch, dinner, try to fill half the plate with fresh items. Fruits, vegetables, cooked grains, boiled eggs, nuts, whole foods. This rule works even if the other half is processed. Tip 4. Keep real snacks visible. The snacks you see first become the snacks you eat. So keep bananas, apples, carrots, cucumbers, nuts, yogurt on the counter or at eye level. And push chips, cookies, and packaged snacks to the back of the shelf. Behavioral science proves this works. Tip 5. Cook simple meals, not fancy ones. You don't need complicated recipes. A meal can be as simple as rice plus vegetables plus chicken, potatoes plus eggs, noodles plus tofu plus greens, fruit plus yogurt. Cooking simple meals even twice a week starts breaking the UPF cycle. Tip 6. Choose 80/20ths, not perfection. Ultra-processed foods are almost impossible to avoid, and that's okay. Aim for 80% real foods, 20% flexible foods. You're not eliminating UPFs, you're balancing them. Tip 7. Upgrade your beverages. Most ultra-processed sugar comes from drinks, easy upgrades. Replace soda with sparkling water plus lemon. Replace sweet tea with unsweetened versions. Replace flavored coffee creamers with milk. Replace packaged juices with whole fruits. You'll feel the difference within a week. Tip 8. Build a default grocery list. When you have a list, impulse buying decreases. Your list might include eggs, milk, oats, rice, potatoes, vegetables, fruits, yogurt, nuts. This automatically reduces UPF purchases. Tip 9. Learn the red flags of marketing words. If you see fitness, protein, natural, sugar-free diet, low fat, it's often a UPF with a healthy mask. Real foods don't need marketing. Tip 10. Plan your emergency meals. These are meals you prepare quickly when you're exhausted and tempted by UPFs. Examples: omelette, peanut butter sandwich, yogurt bowl, frozen vegetables plus eggs, leftover rice plus soy sauce. If you have a backup plan, you avoid processed convenience foods. Reducing ultra-processed foods doesn't require restriction, dieting, or perfection. It's about understanding what you're eating, noticing your habits, and making gentle adjustments. You don't need to remove everything overnight. You simply need to become more aware and choose real foods more often. Your energy, skin, digestion, sleep, and mental clarity will all benefit from these small daily decisions. And over time, you'll naturally gravitate toward meals that nourish you, not drain you. If this video helps you see food differently even just a little, then it's already a win. Remember, you deserve a body that feels energized, strong, and supported. And choosing fewer ultra-processed foods is one of the easiest steps you can take toward that goal.